Probably was a lot.
It being 5 o'clock, the mayor and Matt, the two elected officials, are absent in Madison. The mayor asked me today to chair in his absence. So without objection by the other members, I would do that. Is that okay?
No objection.
And Steve, if for some reason technologically something happens, I'm making you the vice chair of this meeting and you would take over, okay? So if that's the case, Andy, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Has the roll been taken? And the meeting properly posted? I'm having a hard time hearing anything from the owl.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can now.
Maybe I wasn't talking loudly enough.
Okay.
It has been posted and I did take roll.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move to item number 2, approval of the minutes. In our packet, we had the minutes from the October 3rd meeting. I'd call for a motion to approve the minutes.
You approve?
Second.
There being a motion to approve and second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. The motion's passed. Andy, any communications since this afternoon?
None.
Okay. So item number 4 is a public hearing and review possible recommendation. I would open a public hearing on a request to consider a conditional use petition for the property at 725 East Washington Street to allow for a group development land use and a major indoor commercial entertainment land use. I'd open that public hearing by asking staff first to provide a summary of the project.
Thank you, Kevin. Yep, as Kevin stated, this is a 725 East Wisconsin Street. Because of everything that's going on, there's multiple things in this building. It is a group development. And then with our code being anything more than 300 square feet falls under the major indoor commercial entertainment. We do have Layla in the audience today, so she can speak to ask or to answer any questions that you might have. But basically, they're looking to have a small exercise / karate room for training. I want to say 2 to 5 people, but I'll let her speak for that. So at this point, if you want to come up, if they have any questions, or if you want to give a narrative, that'd be great.
Sure. Hello, Happy New Year, everyone. So my name is Layla Basili, and I am the owner of Walco Krav Maga and Personal Protection. So what we are looking for is to teach self-defense classes in this space. We are currently at Fit and Faith Fitness Center, where we have classes 3 times a week. So we're hoping by getting into this space, it will allow us to have classes 5 times a week in the evenings, ideally. It would be roughly from 6:30 p.m. to no later than 9 p.m. Class size would be no more than 10 people per class. And if we were to add any more classes, it would likely be in the mornings. Again, no more than 10 people per class. So
Great. Thank you. Does anyone, do any of the commissioners have questions for the appellant before we speak for public comments?
I don't. No.
Okay, so there being no questions, thank you very much for your time. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak in this public hearing concerning this proposed use?
Nobody here.
I know, yeah. Okay. So, if there's no other questions from the committee, I'll close the public hearing. We'll move to item 4.2. Item 4.2 is consider a conditional use request for the property at 725 East Wisconsin Street to allow for a group development land use and a major indoor commercial land use. Is there a motion to recommend to the Common Council approval of the conditional use findings listed in the report and the conditional use request for major indoor commercial entertainment located at 725 East Wisconsin Street in the Business Central zoning district, subject to the findings and conditions of approval listed in the report that has been provided to us?
So moved as read.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We'll move on to item, congratulations, by the way,
Thank you.
and good luck in your continuing endeavor. Item number 5 is a public hearing, review and possible recommendation for Lake Delavan Center, Inc. Item 5.1 is a public hearing on a request to consider a conditional use petition for the property at 311 and 315 Turtle Creek Drive to allow for a group development land use and a community living arrangement 16 plus residence land use. The applicant, Lake Delavan Center, Inc. I'll open the public hearing by asking staff to review the project.
I was just checking to see if our applicant was trying to zoom in. This is up on Turtle Creek Drive. It's an existing or was an existing community-based residential facility. It is looking to be purchased by new owners who are looking to do some internal changes and add more beds to the facility.
And is Lisa, she has her hand raised. Is Lisa the applicant?
I am the attorney for the applicant. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I've dialed in by phone and I've got you on Zoom. I wasn't sure what you'd be able to hear me on. So if you hear echoes, let me know. I'll hang one up.
So far, I can hear you well, but I'm
Okay,
not there.
great. Okay, yes, Lisa Wood of Amundsen Davis. I represent the proposed owner, Lake Delavan Center, Inc., the applicant for the CBRF operations. So I am available to answer any questions. We also have a few representatives on Zoom as well for the entity if there are additional questions.
Okay, so we'll begin with any questions the commissioners have, and we'll direct them to you.
How many people does it serve now?
Well, it's not currently operating, but let me double check. I think it was a total of 12.
And are you increasing it?
Yes, we are requesting to increase it to a total of 16. I'm sorry, 24. And so that would be 12 per building.
Two per room then?
Correct.
Are there other questions?
How long has that building been closed?
Mark, do you know?
Less than a year. The only reason I know that is because I know we had some rescue squad calls up there less than a year ago. Other than that, we don't track when they would open and close.
What is your,
Go ahead, Corey.
open expected,
Chris, I'm sorry.
expectancy, when do you plan to open up? Sorry.
I think that depends on, I think there were some repairs that were needed just to the interior and some exterior landscaping and that type of thing. So I'm not 100% certain as to the anticipated open date. This is certainly the first step in the process. But I know that the applicant was looking to move forward as quickly as possible to acquire the property and proceed with its plans to open.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, I don't know if there's other members from the applicant who wanted to speak. You implied there might have been some elsewhere on Zoom, but I don't see them.
Kevin, question.
Yeah. Go ahead. Well,
I'm assuming that this will require some review by the state. If that is true, has the state had an opportunity to review this and approve the requested changes?
So
go ahead.
DHS does require licensure, and that application was submitted several weeks ago. As you know, the state approval process does take a little time, but the request for licensure has been submitted.
Has anything been received back one way or the other?
Confirmation that it was submitted.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
obviously this the intended use can't move forward without the licensure. So
Correct. But we are diligently pursuing that,
Right.
And we'll certainly follow up and respond to any concerns that DHS may have. But just to reiterate, as indicated in the summary plan, I don't want to call it the parent, but it's an affiliate, is very experienced in operating CBRFs.
right. So any other questions from the commissioners? Any comments from, and I can't see, has anyone appeared in the public who would like to comment?
That would be no.
Yep. Okay. So with that, we'll close the public hearing on this project and move to item 5.2. Consider a conditional use request for the property at 311 to 315 Turtle Creek Drive to allow for a group development land use and a community living arrangement 16+ residents land use. The applicant, Lake Delavan Center, Inc. I'd entertain a motion to approve the following conditional use findings below and issuance of a limited conditional use permit for group development and community living arrangement 16+ residents land uses on the property at 311 315 Turtle Creek Drive, located in the institutional residential zoning district, to the applicant, Lake Delavan Center, Inc., subject to the conditions that were in our packet. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to accept that with the condition that there is a satisfactory acceptance by the state.
Okay, so with an added condition of state licensure and approval.
Correct.
I'll second that.
Is there a second?
Second.
So Andy, you have that additional requirement, and the applicant, obviously you don't have a problem with that, do you?
Do not.
Okay. Is there discussion among the commission? Hearing none, we'll move to action on the motion. All in favor of the motion as stated with the additional condition signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. The motion's carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll move then to item number 6, 6.1. Officially consider officially vacating a 0.12 acre portion of the public right-of-way of Hobbs Drive due to realignment of the right-of-way in 2005. Mark, do you want to
Sure.
talk to us about this poorly cut pie wedge?
A little housekeeping. When this city purchased the area out there for the industrial park in 2003 and platted the roadway, subsequently, when Alro Steel came in, the roadway was realigned to be able to fit that 25-acre parcel. We left a little piece of property on the north side that is still technically public right-of-way. Ultimately, we should be getting rid of that so that can become part of that parcel to the north. This would be a procedural issue for the Plan Commission to recommend to the council and the council to consider vacating that small piece of property.
Okay. Does anybody on the commission have questions for Mark?
No.
Thank-
Does that property then become part of that's which they're building right now?
No, it would be part of the adjoining of what's now a farm field or where they're filling in right now with some excess soil. Ultimately, it'd be industrial property.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, I'd entertain a motion to recommend the common council approval of vacating the 8,111 square foot portion of the public Hobbs Drive right away as shown on CSM 3812.
So moved.
Is there a second? Thank you, Deb. There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item, item 6.2, consider dates for the 2023 Plan Commission regular meeting schedule. And Mark or whoever, do you want to talk about this? Yeah.
I assume you don't want to meet on Labor Day. So does the Tuesday, the day after Labor Day work?
Yes. I was going to point out on the calendar too, Mark, how about
Yeah.
July 3rd?
I was thinking about July 3rd too. I noticed that one. I'll be out of town on the 3rd.
So the 4th is the Tuesday, the 3rd is the Monday.
10th.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
We're just looking to be able to have a schedule, so when we need public hearing notices, we need to know when the meeting's gonna be so we can back up.
I understand, but could there be an alternate for July 3rd, I think is what we're asking.
I think we were discussing doing it on July 10th. The following Monday.
I mean, that creates some timing issues between the time of the meeting and the city council meeting, but
No, that's not the issue is from a staff standpoint. It's whenever the date of the meeting is, that working backwards in time is to when we have to have the notices and the applications from the, so actually moving it forward in time to the 10th actually makes it, I guess, gives the applicant one more week.
right. So June is a bonus week for a bonus month for applicants in this proposal. So if we could, yeah, I don't, I'll ask the sense of the committee, but it would seem to me moving that meeting date to July 10th would make some sense.
Like that.
Will has a thumbs up. I can't see the other side. I got Chris, but, so it seems like that's the case. Thank you.
Would you need to amend the motion then to add
There's-
both dates?
As long as the clerk knows when the meetings are going to be, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
You okay, Andy? Got what you needed?
So thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to item number 7. Can we get an update on building and zoning related matters? Pete?
Yeah, so we ended up closing the year out with 20 single-family home permits. And next year is looking like we're gonna have quite a few homes between Arbor Ridge, Harbor Club, and Tamarack Street. And then with everything that Toronto builders are doing, so. And then the other big thing that we have is that they haven't come in for a permit to do the demo yet, but we'll also have the Noodles and Company and the Qdoba but yeah, it was a good year for my department, and who knows what the economy is going to actually do this next following year, but it looks like we have a lot of people that have kind of done their research, especially Torontomy, and is thinking that Delavan's the place to be investing some money right now. So my department is going to be pretty busy. So,
Anything new on that church property that we were,
so the one with Ryan DeLong, is that
Yeah.
one? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I did talk to him the other day. He was in the office, and it sounds like his financing fell through.
Yeah.
So he's not 100% out, and that he's hoping that maybe if the church can't sell the property, maybe they'll do a land contract or something with him, or maybe his finances will get better in the near future. But for right now, he is up to date on paying all of his bills with the city, but he's kind of taken a step back.
about the restaurants on the corner.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting for, they do have their state approved plans. And I'm just waiting to hear from them for them to come in and get their permits and start. I'm not sure if they're gonna wait till spring, but I would think by March for sure they would be starting to do some things, so.
The two buildings that are being built over there, it looked like they're moving.
With
pretty quick.
Torontomy, the 277 units, yep,
Yeah.
so they have an erosion control permit right now, which allows them to do the digging and move the dirt, and then they do have an early start with permit from the state, Wisconsin, because that requires state approval because of the size and everything that they're doing there.
And then one last question, entrance to the Lake Lawn buildings, houses, where is that with the state?
So Mark might know a little bit more where they're at with that, but right now, that was part of their development agreement that they were allowed to build a couple of spec homes. So right now, like they won't get occupancy or anything on those homes until Mark tells me they can. But basically until they get that entrance in the public, but do you have anything to add?
It's coming this spring.
Yeah. But yeah, normally we wouldn't allow people to build homes, but that was part of their development agreement with the city so that they could have a sales center for when they start to build all these homes.
It would seem too like it'd be putting roads in there before you're building homes.
They have them all paved. Their internal drives are all paved.
Oh, they're all
Yeah, they
paved.
just don't have the entrance part to it
Oh,
right now,
okay.
but yeah, they are paved there and
Okay,
they've got water and sewer kind of run to them, so,
okay, they're ready to go.
yeah.
Mark, I have a follow-up question concerning that. Who's managing that intersection project?
Managing as far as
What
permits.
governmental agency? The state DOT, you?
The DOT permit, it also runs through the city as well.
Okay,
Also, you've got two pizza places coming in too.
Well, yeah, the Pepperoni Pub is coming in next week or maybe even this week for their occupancy. And then the second pizza place, is that for sure? I didn't know.
Well, they're coming to GOC tomorrow night for the one by El Shopko.
Have they applied with you?
We may be having another pizza place.
They were told they needed to, so.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I'd have to double check, but it doesn't ring a bell.
No shortage of pizza.
okay.
I like pizza.
Any other questions for any of the staff members?
You bring up an interesting question, Old Shopko. Anything happening there?
Well,
I'm not Old Shopko, across the street.
Old
Where-
Slumberland.
Slumberland, where Slumberland used to be.
the owner of that shopping center, he owns all of it, is coming to staff and ultimately be coming to the Plan Commission and Council. He wants to expand the storage use. I believe he zoomed in several months ago,
Right, and then, okay,
working through the process.
Okay.
if there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.
Still trying to get out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone's giving them a hard time.
I think it's just, yeah, that time of year.